this is Rysin. Welcome to my channel, The Quest for Wealth. And today we are going to talk about student permit or becoming a permanent resident of Canada through student permit. I have got a guest here. His name is Liam. He came here in Moncton back in 2019 and 2 years after he received his permanent residency. So Liam, if you can introduce yourself.
So hi guys, my name is Liam and I'm a permanent resident here in Moncton, New Brunswick. I arrived here last December 2018 and got my permanent residency last January 2021.
Yeah. So from which country did you apply from?
I applied from the Philippines, from Manila, exactly.
And did you have to have an agent to apply on your behalf?
Well, honestly, I don't have any plans in applying in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, my first plan is I apply in Singapore or in Dubai for
Okay.
work.
All right.
And then my partner,
Mhm.
he introduced me taking a student path in Canada, then afterwards taking a permanent residency. That's why we searched for a reliable agency, and that's where we started.
Oh, hang on a second. But you did have an agency
Mhm.
who did your application.
Yes,
You did not do it yourself.
No.
And how much did you have to spend?
a lot.
Yes.
Well, the agency fee, it cost me around 100,000 pesos.
Which is how much in Canadian dollars then?
It's-
2,500 to 3,000
Mhm.
Canadian dollars. So going back, did you think or do you think right now that having an agent to work on your behalf is necessary?
Well, for me, it is very necessary because I'm very lazy
Okay.
reading.
All right.
So DIY is not my forte.
Okay.
So I just want my agency to tell me what I should do. And
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Okay. So, and what was the first step that happened with the agency? Essentially, what was the first question that they asked you?
Well, first we had a seminar, so we have to attend there, and they're going to tell the story or what is the pathway that we're going to take.
Okay.
So when we are decided, we're going to contact them. Then they're going to offer us a list of schools.
Okay.
From there, we're going to select our top 3 schools.
You were given top 3 schools to choose from.
No,
Or
they give the list of schools for
Okay.
us to choose from.
okay.
Then we're going to select the top 3 schools that we are interested in.
Okay. So what were your parameters in choosing the top 3 schools?
Actually, 100% cost based
Yes.
because tuition is very expensive here. It's
Okay.
like 3 times higher
Than the
than
Philippines.
than the local here in Canada.
For international students, you mean?
Yeah, we're paying 3 times more.
More than a domestic or a
Yeah.
local. I see. So which were your top schools then?
So I'm choosing among Centennial College in Toronto.
Toronto, that would be expensive then, no?
Yep.
Okay.
And that means Fanshawe College, that as well is in Toronto.
Okay. And
And then an MBCC here in Moncton.
Liam, as I mentioned a while ago, is already a permanent resident here back in
2020, January 2021.
January 2021. Okay. And the course that you took at NBCC was?
Accounting and Payroll Administration.
Uh-huh.
It's a 1-year program.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I started January 2019
Uh-huh.
and it ended in December 2019 as well.
All right. Okay. And you are currently working, yes?
Yes, I'm currently working in a bank here. It's a Canadian bank.
TD Bank?
Yep.
He works at TD Bank. TD Bank is one of the biggest banks here in Canada. TD Bank is in the stock exchange. TD Bank is actually one of my watch lists when it comes to stocks that I wanted to buy. TD Bank is quite expensive in stocks. That's why I'm waiting for it to have a correction before I buy it. But okay, and Liam is also a degree holder in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And
I already finished the degree of Bachelor in Accountancy. Then when I moved here, I took Accounting and Payroll.
Okay, and that's postgraduate.
No, it's a certificate degree.
It's a certificate degree. Okay.
So certificate degree is just a 1-year course. If you finish 2-year course, it's a diploma.
One question. This is actually one of the most comments that I receive is, how do you like Moncton and how is the standard of living in Moncton? How do you find it here?
Moncton. For me, I like Moncton very much. for the very specific reason that it's not very urbanized and not very rural.
Mm.
Because I grew up in Metro Manila, and the
The
living
case
there
of
is
traffic
yes,
is.
and it's very fast paced there.
Yes.
So I'm always kind of in a hustle
Mm.
every day. So living here, it's just like I'm waking up in the morning, going to work. Then
Yeah.
in the afternoon, I can go. And there's a lot of activities that I can do here.
Yeah.
Especially during the summer,
Yeah.
the sun is up until
10 o'clock.
9:30 or 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what Liam is saying is that the standard of living here is you would say high.
Yeah.
It's not stressful. It's actually quite relaxed.
Yeah.
And I would say the same. It exactly is the same definition that I would say. It is a very relaxed community, what we have here in Moncton. So before we dive into the detailed process of applying for a student permit to become a permanent resident, Liam will provide us a general summary on the step-by-step process on how to apply for a permanent residency.
Okay. Well, the very first thing is you're going to apply for letter of acceptance.
Yeah.
We
And
usually
this
call
will
this as,
come from the school.
yes.
Okay.
We usually call this as LOA, acceptance letter.
Mm.
So once you got your acceptance letter,
Mm.
you're going to apply for a student permit.
Okay,
Okay,
and that
that's-
student permit is from IRCC.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
usually called student visa.
Yes,
Yes.
okay.
So once you have been granted student visa,
Mm.
that's the time you're going to come to Canada and
Mm.
then do your studies.
Okay.
So after your studies, you can apply for the PGWP or postgraduate work permit.
Mhm.
And during that time, that's the time that you have the ability to apply for permanent residency.
Okay. All right. So that is the application process in a nutshell. So then now we will dive detail by detail on how to apply for a student permit. You chose NBCC because of cost.
Cost.
Okay.
Because NBCC is the least
Expensive?
expensive. Yep.
Yeah, okay. In the whole of Canada.
In the whole of Canada.
Yeah. All right. You mentioned was a letter of acceptance.
Acceptance.
So how do our viewers apply for a letter of acceptance?
Well, we're going to the website of NBCC, which is nbcc.ca.
Yeah.
There you can click a button to apply for LOA. So when you click that, they're going to give you a list of the programs that is available and
Right.
if there is any available seats.
Okay.
So I must say, I must advise the viewers right now that as soon as possible, if they want to apply as soon as possible when
Mm.
the admission is open.
Yeah.
Because the seat for international students is very limited
Yeah.
and it's usually running out of slots.
Okay. As a matter of fact, I do have a sister of mine that I'm trying to apply for a student permit, and a week ago
Mhm.
we tried to register her, and the intake for students is already for the fall 2022. And how fast does it go? The seats for international students?
You mean how slow?
Or how well, whatever the case may be. Yeah.
Well, once you pick your seat,
Hmm.
the school will email you what are the requirements. So it's usually if you're finished high school in the Philippines, you need to submit your high school diploma and Form 137.
Okay.
If you're a graduate in college, you have to submit your college diploma and TOR as well.
So this is submitted by the student or by the school to NBCC?
In my days, it's the student who's going to submit it.
All right.
Yeah.
Because that has already changed.
Mhm.
With my sister, I'm trying to apply for her,
Mhm.
and the school itself will or should email the TOR and the diploma to NBCC.
Mm.
Yeah. And it's only, they don't need hard copy anymore. It's just email.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So,
Mhm.
yeah, that's what
Just change.
that's already changed.
Okay.
That's the latest, at least, as
Mhm.
what I have read
Mhm.
about 4 days ago. I guess it's the latest. It's 4
Mhm.
days ago. So, all right. So, the letter of acceptance is the first step.
Mhm.
You apply at NBCC.
Mhm.
You choose your course.
Yep.
You pay for the registration.
Yeah, I think it's around $50 for
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Right now it's $100. Registration of $100,
Mhm.
and then after paying registration, you
Mhm.
mentioned send the documents to NBCC.
Yeah.
All right. So.
So after you get accepted, you will receive an email from NBCC containing the letter of acceptance.
All right.
So if you're given that chance, grab
Mhm.
it as soon as you can,
Okay.
because you have to pay around $500 for the reservation of the slot. If you fail to pay that amount,
Okay.
the slot will be given to another applicant.
How fast is fast? 1 week,
I
2
think-
days, 1 day?
No, not really. Around 30 days, I believe.
Okay. So you're given 30 days
Mhm.
to pay $500 so
Mhm.
that the slot is
Reserved for you.
reserved for you.
Yep.
If 30 days lapse and you didn't pay, then it will be given automatically to somebody else.
Yes. Sometimes it's not automatically that they're going to give you an acceptance letter.
Okay.
Sometimes you're going to receive an email that you're on wait list.
All right.
For example, the whole class is consisted of 30 students,
Hmm.
and you're the 35th
Right.
student.
Hmm.
So you're going to be given an email that you're on wait list.
Right. I see. So how many students do they allocate or do they accept per course, or is it different course
It
to
really
course?
depends upon
Okay.
each course.
Mhm.
So on my class, accounting and payroll, we are 25 in the class.
Okay, and with a different program, it would be different number.
Yeah.
I see. We are still in the process of applying for an LOA. So the case now is, as soon as you receive your LOA or your letter of acceptance, you have to grab that chance and pay for the $500 to reserve your seat. Otherwise, 30 days lapse, it will be given to somebody else. Now, the question is, had there been, or do you think, are you aware of any situation wherein an LOA is not proven or given to a student or to an applicant?
I think the only reason that the school can reject your application is
Hmm.
if you're lacking some requirements.
Okay.
Yeah, because you have to prove that you have already enough knowledge to study here in Canada.
Mhm.
For example, English, because medium of instruction here is English, as you know.
Yes.
So you have to provide a certificate
Ah, yeah.
as English
Um,
as a medium of teaching.
Okay.
A certificate that you can grab that through your school.
Okay.
And
All right.
yeah, sometimes our diplomas and TORs,
Mhm.
it's not translated in English.
Okay.
Sometimes if you're in Catholic school, it's translated in Spanish, like that.
Right.
So you have to translate it to English before you
Okay.
submit it to NBCC.
Okay. And should the translation be notarized, or it can be just a regular translation?
Well, I think there is an authorized translator listed in the IRCC website.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So they would have to have it translated through that list
Yeah.
of people. Okay. So then, in a nutshell, the requirements or the documents required are: if you are a high school student, you will have to have your diploma and your
Form 137.
Form 137. If you are a degree holder, meaning you finished a bachelor's degree, you have to have the TOR
TOR and your diploma.
and then your diploma. And either you finished high school or you are a degree holder and you do not want to take IELTS, then you will have to submit a letter of English as a medium of teaching from the school. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. So those are the main documents required for a person or an aspiring student to be provided with an LOA. You have to remember, if you do not provide the correct documents, then you risk the danger of not being reserved with a seat. And the LOA is the predominant, or it is the most important part of your application for student permit. Without LOA, you cannot do the next step, which is application for permanent or for student permit.